Welcome to the MR Podcast. My name is Hannah Lassiter, and I am the speaker and host of the MR Podcast, the founder of Mentorship Revolution, as well as the author of Poetry for Girls That Struggle, currently available on Amazon for you to purchase, as well for you to purchase for a loved one. So, today I wanted to come to everyone, and I am so happy to be back on with you all. I have been extremely busy since I returned to university in August. I have been very busy with my classes, with studying, just life in general, personal life, just trying to fulfill many duties and keep a balance in every area of life. You have social, you have, your education, you have work, you have relationships, and then you have your health and, fitness. So there's just so many areas that we have to balance, in order to be healthy and whole. So I hope that you all have been faring well with this season that we're in, and especially in regards to COVID-19. I have had to adapt, being a college student, but my journey is coming to an end. And I must say that I'm so happy that I started in 2018 before COVID came on the premises, because I do think COVID has definitely reshaped, 2020. So I'm just very happy that God brought me in a good 2 years earlier than when COVID started, because I didn't have to worry about masks. I didn't have to worry about a pandemic. I didn't have to worry about many of the things college students are worrying about now. So I just thank the Lord how sometimes things work out. But I do feel that it's very unfortunate that many college students are, and it's not even just college, but in general, I am speaking on the subject of college. But in general, you feel like this is an unfortunate situation for everyone, for the elderly, for the youth, for the children that, it affected their school year, for those that were laid off from work, furloughed, whatever they may have been. It's very unfortunate when you look at this. And I think it can either overwhelm you or it can teach you a much greater lesson. And, but I just think that for me and for many others, we walk by faith and not by sight. And it's been that way long before COVID came. And it will continue to be that way. So, I really think what happened is COVID, it just brought everything back into reevaluation. So sometimes we think everything in this world is reliable. Like, we think our relationships are reliable. We think our money is reliable. We think the way we look on this day is reliable. We think we're going to always look the same. We're going to always look young. We're going to always have this and have that. We think we're going to always have these things, these possessions, and these abilities. And then everything is shaken because maybe it is God, or maybe it is the fact that we reap what we sow, or maybe it is because eventually over time decisions have consequences. But in the end, we have to remain hopeful. We have to continue to, we have to continue to wake up every day, go on with our lives, try to build, stable foundations, maintain stable foundations. We have to continue to work hard, have good work ethic. We have to continue to grow, learn, prune, and we have to continue to create a life for ourselves that, in the end, we can say that we felt we created successful lives, or at least we can say that I did what I was able to do, whether it was for myself, for my family, for my country, and just continue to be great human beings, because I feel like I said, this did shake our foundation, and, this did erupt like a volcano, that has been sitting under sea for I don't know how long. But So you all, I am just so happy to be back on with you all. Like I said, I've had a lot going on, but overall, I am still on the website. So the amazing news is that we finally reached 6K. We finally reached it, you all. And thank you all that have been supporting since 2018. Thank you for everyone that has subscribed, everyone that has become a member in some sorts. Membership is still free. So while some different platforms and stuff charge, I don't charge for membership. Currently, our membership is just basically you subscribing to the website. But I do have the affirmation series, which is $5 a month. So that is a monthly payment for those who are a part. And then you also have the mentorship program, in which, we have a certain criteria for that, in which, you pay for your services in whole. So pretty much with that, with the mentoring program, I do have this offer that has been around since 2019, where if you see that this is a good program for you and that you're in need of a mentor and you want to be part of a mentorship program that is designed specifically with you in mind, you can get your first mentorship session set up with me for the duration of up to 30 minutes. And that's for free. And basically there we can start building that bridge, and I can really get to provide those questionnaires, see where you're going, see what services you're seeking, and how can I cater to you in your specific areas. So for that, like I said, you can start for free with costs not being any worries, especially in the midst of this COVID. I'm going to keep that offer up for you all. But just know that if you are looking for permanent mentorship and you are looking for a real program that involves resources, it involves time, energy consumption, know that there will eventually be a discussion of what package are you purchasing. Are you purchasing the 3 sessions a month or the 6 sessions a month? So we have that. We have where you can do up to 6 sessions in a month. Now, with me being where I'm at right now in life, that can be kind of flexible, or it can be kind of readapted. But I would say that there are several packages we have for the mentorship program, and those things will also be discussed in your first free mentor session. So just look into that, because mentors are important, you all. And I don't think anyone should reject the mentor, especially if someone's openly telling you, I'm willing to help you, I'm willing to mentor you, I'm willing to serve you for a specific amount of time. And then going forth, we can build this relationship where, I'm your mentor, you're my mentee, and I am able to help you in certain areas that you feel you want to be strengthened or you feel you need to give attention. So think about that. If you have any more information you're in need of, visit mentorshiprevolution.com, and we have a whole page dedicated to the mentoring program that will provide you information and even prices. And if you want to know more personal information that is suited just for you, where you want to introduce yourself and you want to state who you are and what you're looking for, and we can negotiate, you can email us at mentorshiprevolution24.7@gmail.com, and you will hear back from us hopefully within 24 hours. Now, of course, today is November 3rd, so in America, we're all talking about the big election. Many of us are looking forward to Joe Biden and Trump and who's going to win this large debate. Well, the debate actually now is the final sequence, because this is going to be the president for the next 4 years in America. So I did vote today, thankfully. I made it to the poll and I did vote. And this was my first big election, being that I am 20. And this is my first presidential election where I was old enough to vote. And I mean, for me, I'm going to be honest, I feel like my feelings about it, I did never really expect Trump to become president. When you look back at the previous election in which he was up against Hillary Clinton. So it's so interesting how time has a way of moving on, because I remember the first big election that I actually was old enough to even comprehend was, of course, Obama, being that I'm a 2000s child. And I just remember that it was different then. The feeling then was different. And then you had 2015 come around where they're like, Obama did his 8 years. That was set in stone the time that he had been in the White House. And now you have Hillary Clinton and you have Donald Trump. And I think that when it comes to a president in our country, we need to expect good leadership. We need to expect a person that's setting an example of morals and values and ethics. And I would say that while Trump has some views that, some of Trump's views, like whether it's regarding certain things, to me, it's not always about whether you have sufficient views or whether your views may agree with my views. A lot of times, like when I look at what Trump has done, I think it's his lack of morals, values, and ethics, his lack of good leadership, his lack of ability to communicate effectively, to even give good speeches, to be able to kind of like unite the common things that we have, because America is very diversified. Of course, we have immigrants, we have people who are African American, we have, Hispanics, we have Asians, we're very diversified. So it's just important that we have a leader who can appeal to the majority, not just the people that he wants to appeal to. But if you're going to be leading a country, realistically, you have to be able to provide for every population in that country, or else that leads to war, that leads to conflict that is unceasing. And I think that's what we've seen with Trump, is that Trump has been very blatant. He's been very controversial. And I feel like that's not the way you lead a country, because you want to seek peace. You want to seek civility. You want to seek, progression and not going backwards, and stuff like that. So, and I think actually the slogan, "Make America Great Again," is not a good slogan, in the sense of when you really sit and think about what that slogan is saying. Because if you say "Make America Great Again," to me that sounds like you're saying America is not a great country. And it's just very important that we be careful with what we say, because at the end of the day, that has either high vibrational energy or low. And when people see the words "Make America Great Again," some people are going to debate about whether we were ever great. Then some people are going to say, well, we already are great, So I honestly feel that that's not a good slogan, because, what does making America great again mean? Because 100 people surveyed can say different ways that America can be great again. So there's really no way to define how you can make America great again. And I think that there can be much better slogans to represent what we're seeking in our country. So I just feel like that's kind of what we're dealing with. So hopefully, like I said, when it comes to politics and stuff, I really don't try to persuade people how to think and feel. I try to be, I find it very stressful to try to control other people. So I don't really tell people who is the great, who is the bad, who is the worst. I allow people to use their common sense, their critical thinking. What have you been taught? Well, those accumulations over your lifetime, How wise are you? How are you able to read into things and see truth versus non-truth? Then you decide who you want to support. Then you decide what you want to see happen. And I'm not really a person who wants to I don't want to hold a grown person's hand in this, because, some people are very confident in what they believe, whether it's ignorance or not ignorance, whether it's real or not real. Many adults are confident in what they believe. So I try to encourage people to look at the greater picture of values and characteristics versus what I want you to do because I've done it. So I just hope that, things come along well for us in 2020 at this ending that we're nearing. We're ending a whole nother year, you all. So we're going into this new decade, and we're already 1 year in, and everyone was talking about we're starting a new decade. Well, we're already 1 year into this decade. So we're just continually pressing forward. And for this podcast, I was just reintroducing myself, coming back in, filling you all in, talking about current events, because, we actually have a current event series on the MR podcast, but even more so, we cannot deny the things that we see around us. We can't always overlook politics. Sometimes we have to sit down and talk about these pressing issues that affect every person live in a particular country. So in this particular episode about current events, I'm talking about America, because today we're having our big USA election. And as well, I would also say this: I am not disclosing who I voted for, and I say this because it's not about whether I voted for a Democrat or Republican, because I'm not big on either side. If I was to be blatant about it, for many reasons, I feel that I don't find myself leaning over towards a Democratic or leaning over towards a Republican. But I would say this: be careful what you tell others or what information you disclose that doesn't need to be disclosed, because people tend to make assumptions and people tend to opinionize a lot. So they don't know the whole picture. They don't know exactly what motivates you, but they'll judge you. So just be careful, because if you've listened to me, you pretty much probably can infer who I voted for just based on my evaluation of Trump and all of this and that. But just be careful, because, like I said, who you vote for is your choice, and it doesn't need to be released to the rest of the world. And it is one vote. As much as we say everyone should vote, your one vote doesn't necessarily affect every other life in America. These people are going to live, breathe, and continue to do what they do regardless of who you voted for. So with that being the case, there doesn't need to be any rife about that. But I hope that you all were able to glean something from this podcast. This is the MR podcast that you're listening to and tuning in. I have much more great content episodes coming. I'm so thankful for every supporter, every listener, every subscriber, because we're only getting better. Make sure that you are subscribed today. If this is your first time hearing us, welcome to the MR podcast. This is a very exclusive community. Make sure you subscribe to mentorshiprevolution.com. Make sure you follow us on Facebook at Mentorship. Our population there is not only diversified, with international support and followers, at least making up 50% or more, but as well, I give updates. I'm always engaging with you all, interacting, putting discussion boards, and just releasing content to help you have a great day, or at least assist you in your day. So thank you for listening to the MR podcast. Make sure you tune in for more. Enjoy the rest of your day.